What's up, nation? Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We back at this again. We are. We are back at this again. Good old Randy Gregory not practicing this week due to an unknown injury or illness. We don't know what it is. Now, hopefully it's not the COVID, but they said it's not. And I don't know if it's contagious, but D-Law, he's out as well. He didn't practice, or he's been limited to practice. So maybe, just maybe, it could be a lot of smoke and mirrors, and they trying to finagle them ways out of the situation of saying that, okay, if we boo-boo it up, it could be a case in a scenario that, dare I say, that they trying to hoodwink the Minnesota Vikings so they will not know who to prepare for. These are our best bookends, our best edge guys, D-Law, and then on the opposite side, of course, Randy Gregory. Now, I know a lot of people will say, yeah, Law, this is them organically tanking this thing all the way out. Regardless of how you look at it, that's what they're doing. Now, it could be. It could flat out be. It's just one of those things. But my thing is, by D-Law doing all of the talking, saying, yeah, the Cleveland Browns put up 300 and something yards against us, and it would not happen to us this week against the Vikings. Now, the Vikings, that's all they do is run. That's all they do. They try to run to set up the play action pass, and either you're going to stop the run or you're going to get burnt in the air. That's the only two ways that they kind of like pivot things. That's the only two ways that they like get things going, regardless of the scenario, regardless of the facts. So maybe, just maybe we can see some of the guys on the low end of the situation step up like the Bradley and Nas, even if they even bring in the new guy from Canada. I forgot his name. I think it's Eli something. And I know he plays more so inside. And I do know that the Speaks kid, he got to still go through the protocols because he just got picked up. I forgot his name, Breland Speaks. The craziest thing of it all that he was on the market for what? Since September, nobody really took a look at him. Cowboys, we something else, baby. We are. We flat out something else. Now, I can look at this thing and say, well, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Minnesota Vikings. Hey, they're a team that gave us an L last year. Y'all remember that? When we were going back and forward over, hey, was this a game that Ezekiel Elliott, he wasn't able to run, and Dak Prescott was just throwing the ball everywhere? Y'all remember that? Do you guys remember that? Do you recall that game when we was looking at it and saying, okay, they saying this year, in the earlier parts of this year, let Russell cook. And we was like, hey, and I'm going to tell you the capital word, L-E-T, let Dak Prescott cook last year against this Minnesota team. We took that L. Now we playing against them now. And Ezekiel Elliott, if he couldn't run then, and that's with a healthier offensive line then, what makes us think that we're going to run now? That's the craziest thing. Are we going to all of a sudden figure out ways to run now? I'm not saying that we should look at this game and say, okay, it's going to be a blowout or anything. But all I'm saying is that we need to look at this game and say, well, when the reality meets the expectations and they both collide with each other, where will we stand when all of the smoke and fire is gone? Where will we be? How long can we last? How long can we fight and stand firm into what we believe in? That will be the $1 million question. That will be the matter of fact, that will be the Jerry Wayne dollars questions. So all I can say is, D-Law, Randy Gregory, we need you guys, man. We need you all to be there. Now, that was just me just talking on the health report of those two guys. Now, we do have Cheeto Woozier back in practice. Hey, I know there should be some rust factor. But like I said before, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And we'll find out whether or not this guy reasonings of coming back playing and taking all of that long vacation time and him going out into the interview saying that, yeah, this team looks like it's more solid now. Not saying that we got the other guys that were not efficient enough to keep this team afloat, but now that they got Antoine Woods playing more snaps, he said that the team is a little bit more efficient, they're a little bit more better, they playing on one accord as it relates to the defense. But we'll find out what he can do. And he kind of brought it all the way back to like, hey, look at it in these aspect of it. When he was sitting on the sideline, he had no choice to being a fan. And he said he felt frustrated because he had nothing he can change with. But now he got all of the possibilities and the ramifications to make the changes now. Now, like I said in my video, keys to things to look at, I said that there's a Justin Jefferson out there. Yeah, he's pretty dog. There's a dog out there. There's a Adam Thielen out there. And also there's a Rudolph, and I ain't talking about the red-nosed reindeer. So we're going to have to play smart ball. And I think Irv Smith Jr., he's still injured. That's a blessing in disguise for us, because I don't want to see that young kid, because he did something fantastic last year on the end around, loop around. So hopefully, and I mean just that Cheeto and AB will be ready for it. Now, I do know my dog, Donovan Wilson. I think that he's going to step up. I'm really hoping that in the secondary, he can showcase to the world that, hey, he belongs, right? We want to see him succeed. And of course, we want to see everybody succeed. But we really want him to succeed because we know what he can bring to the table. Hit factor is 1,000, you know. And on top of that, his range is there. Let's see what we can do. Oh, and it is time for, I guess, Jalen Smith. He got his back against the wall. I know he hears it. I know he hears it. Anytime he responds to one of my videos, I know he hears it when the media, the national media, is talking about him, right? Do they gonna do the pay cut, or they not gonna do the pay cut, or they gonna cut him? You know, whether or not that news is real or false or phony or fake, he knows it, you know. So let's see how we can combat all of these things together. And let's see if we can work out something with him playing with fire under his you-know-what. And don't forget about LVE. Let's see what he brings to the table. Will he be ready to fight? Will he be ready to hold it down? Will he be ready to say, okay, hey, this is this has got to be his third game now, right? Back from his injury, what have you. So now if we can have something from him, if he can step up and show up, maybe, just maybe, who knows what else can happen from here. All right, so Cowboy Nation, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you guys feel about D-Law, him being on the injury report, and then by him doing all of the talking. Talking is good. They say, hey, talk is what? Silver and silence is gold, or talk is cheap. You know, talk action is good. Keep that same energy when you're out there on the field, because the Vikings people, they looking there like, okay, he was talking all that cash money. We'll see him on Sunday. Lace him up. Let's see if he'll be there. Let me know how you guys feel about everything on that side of the coin. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Salute.